If you want to create multiple passive streams of income, this episode is for you. I actually, in my community, I send out a weekly newsletter, and one of my fans, my loyal listeners and loyal NFA family members said, "Hey, will you talk a little bit about Bitcoin?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, high fives," because I love to talk about crypto. On today's episode, we're going to talk about manifesting money in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, real estate, and stocks, because as you know, I started out poor, not a lot of money, and yet I still have built up a really powerful investment portfolio where I'm starting to have multiple passive streams of income. And I want that for you because, of course, this is Max Potential Money, and I want to teach you tricks and tips on how to get aligned to optimize yourself, your business, and the things that you do to create more money so you have financial freedom and you can experience joy and freedom in life. Again, I know I've said this before, but when I talk to entrepreneurs about what they most want, they always say freedom. And this is freedom with their time. And I think the most ultimately free way that you can live is by having passive streams of income that create an income where you don't ever have to worry about money, and then you get to choose to do exactly what you want. That's what I'm working toward, and that's what I want to teach you to do. So I'm going to talk about my backstory in this episode, and I'm going to share with you some links for really useful resources to start building your wealth in a way that you can start with very little money and start to accelerate your growth of your net worth. And so this is a fun one because for those of you who know me or hang out with me a lot, you know that I love talking about money-making strategies. Obviously, I named my company NFA Money, and this podcast is Max Potential Money. The reason that I care about it so much is because I know what it's like to be stuck in just horrible survival mode and wondering where my next penny is going to come from. And I think the worst feeling about it was thinking I'm going to forever be stuck here. Like, shit, how do I ever get out of this hole? How do I ever feel abundant? I mean, it really wasn't even those words. It was like, how do I just not feel like crap? And how do I not worry all the time? And when I started on my coaching journey, I ran into a coach who helped me see that I didn't have wealth building anywhere on my value system. And I started to question that. And I thought, I don't like my financial reality, but I've never read one single book on investing. I've never read one book on money mindset. It just wasn't even a thought in my mind that it was possible to shift my reality. I had this really stuck money block that money is for other people, money is scarce, money is the root of all evil. Like, I had a lot of money blocks going on, and I decided I'm going to see what I can do to shift this. I started with some really great books. I started listening to podcasts about money. I read everything I could. I listened to everything I could on podcasts. I watched YouTube videos, and I started to hang out with wealthier people in the workshops that I was going to. And I started to realize, hey, wealthy people just know the skills to build wealth. And the people that can build their wealth and build their net worth over time and build genuine wealth and enjoy doing it and don't feel bad about it, those are the kind of people that I want to become. And as I started down that journey, I really quickly decided to change some of my money habits. And you all know that this was called Max Potential Habits before, because I saw that changing my mindset and my habits led to more money and led to more freedom and led to having a liberated mind around money where I wasn't constantly worried about it, freaking out, fearful. And I know that all of you might not be in that place where you're freaking out about money all the time, but I think if you stop to analyze and reflect on how much time in the day you spend thinking about how to make more money, what to do with your money, if you're worthy to have the money you have, you think about how you're earning the money, you think about, will it stop? I mean, there are so many money blocks that I could cover. I'm still in creation of the money blocks profile. Believe me, you'll be the first to know when it's done. It's going to be done very soon. And then you can assess what your biggest money blocks are. The reason I'm doing all that is because I see common threads among all people. And in order to manifest money, you got to get decisive and clear. And you've got to say, you got to declare out loud, I want to be a money master. I am dedicated to being a money master. I decided when I was on food stamps and wanted to shift my reality to change everything about myself in my brain first, because I started to realize that what I believed internally was creating my outer world. And as I started to take steps in a different direction, I started to see rapid transformation. And one of those things that I did is that I read Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins, and I learned a whole bunch about investing. And I was like, I think I could be good at this. And so I just started playing with small amounts of money. And so I actually wrote it down. My very first investment in Bitcoin was on November 1st, 2017. And actually, this wasn't my first investment. This was my first crypto investment, but it was, I put $25 in, and then Bitcoin was at $72.6184. So $7,261.84 was the cost of a Bitcoin. Today, I have it on my computer at all points in time because I'm always tracking. Right now it's at 54,366, and there's been a 6% decrease today. In the last month, there's been a decrease, but overall this year, Bitcoin is up 832%. And I've made tons of money this year on Bitcoin alone. And so, as this Bitcoin investment, I like to think about this manifesting magic as making a decision in a direction and then opportunities become open to you. So what's happened to me over the years is that all of a sudden I decided, I want to become a money master. I'm dedicated to learning everything that I can. I realize that it's in my control to shift my money reality, and I'm going to take action in the direction, and I'm going to trust the universe to show me the way. So if you remember, I've given you the 3 steps to manifesting, and I do have, if you go back to that episode, there is a downloadable sheet that you can use this process that I've used over and over to manifest multiple passive streams of income. That's the exact process. Decide, commit. You decide exactly what you want, you declare it to the universe, you take action in the direction, and then trust the universe to take care of the house. Okay, so in doing that, I started learning about investing on multiple levels. So, what I created is first a money magnet account. I don't call it an emergency savings because I don't want to have to create an emergency for that money to go away. So I create a money magnet account, and that has 6 months of living money in it. So if shit hits the fan, I've got 6 months of security, right? So for you, I'd say 3 to 6 months of security. It's a lower interest account because you need to be able to access that money as fast as possible. So I actually now keep about 3 months of living money in there. And then I have money in other accounts, which I'll tell you about. But you want to have that money magnet account. It's your safety, it's your security. Then I have indexed accounts. These are universal life insurance policies where I become my own bank and I build my wealth that way. It's an interest-bearing account. It's a long-term wealth development. It's tax free as I pass on my intergenerational wealth to my kids. There is an episode, it's the very last episode of Max Potential Habits with Andre, is where you can access that information and set those accounts up. So that's my bottom layers. Those are my foundational security layers. And then as I go up the pyramid of money investing, you can get more and more risky. Now, this is going to depend on your age. And it's going to depend on your amount of wealth that you're playing with, but you kind of think of this risk escalation. So you want to have your foundation of security and safety. That's your money attracting. That's making sure you're always good. Then as you go up the ladder, you can take different risks with different dollar amounts because you've already built this secure foundation. And so that's the way I have my money house built. And I want to offer you some free some links in order for you to be able to access the ways that I build wealth. And I'm going to look up real quick while I'm sitting here this link also for the indexed accounts. If you go to bit.ly/NFA Money 101/Andre, and I will put that in the show notes. All these links I'm going to give you today are going to be in the show notes because I want you to have access to all of them. So that's your indexed accounts. That's a very secure, stable, no loss, you can't lose money account. You want to have one of those. You want to have your money magnet account that's just sitting in a money market account. Then you want to upscale as you go up the ladder and have that foundation built. So then what I started to do as I was creating that, I started to invest in stocks. Now, I used Robinhood. I have a link for you there. If you sign up through my link, you get a free stock. Cool. awesome. Free money is always great. I know there's some controversy about who to use, Ameritrade or Robinhood. I love Robinhood. So I started investing in 2017 and I did all of my own investing. I just read and I learned, and my portfolio this last year, I sold off a lot of those stocks that I started investing in 2017, 731% gain I created. 731%. That's pretty phenomenal. I didn't really know that. I just was like doing my thing, and people started asking me questions like, what the heck are you doing? I just got really inspired about wealth building, and I realized like stocks and money are just a fun game. I didn't grow up learning about stocks. I didn't grow up learning these things. I didn't grow up thinking about how the easiest way to make money is to have your money making money for you, passive income, right? Instead of me having to work hard. And I'm still working on that belief where I think, oh, you got to work really hard to make a lot of money. Every day I tell myself the less I work, the more I make. And I'm starting to really train my brain in that direction. I want to have passive streams of income, paying all of my bills, paying all of my lifestyle, and then I do everything I want every single day. And I'm escalating to where I get to do that more and more and more. I'm living more and more in that space. That's the power of manifesting. So Robinhood, start trading stocks, start learning, start playing, play with $10. You can buy fractal shares now. Play with $10 and just start. I started with the first one I did, and because at the time I was looking into being a relationship coach, I thought, this Match.com thing is pretty cool, and I can see how this is a trend that's going to be growing. And as a sociologist, I'm always looking for patterns. So I was like, I'm going to invest a whole bunch of money into Match. I bought it at around $18 a share. Today it's around $150 a share, and I bought quite a bit. That was awesome. I heard about NVIDIA, and I just kept like listening and reading and learning and investing, and my portfolio just grew and grew and grew. Then I took all that money and I reinvested again. And so that's what I want you to be thinking about. What's your money building strategy? What's your wealth building strategy? Are you thinking of ways in the future to create multiple passive streams of income? How are you going to do it? What are you going to learn to be responsible? Don't put your financial reality in someone else's hands. Don't think, oh, they'll figure it out for me. Don't think like I'll just pass this on to someone else and they'll figure it all out. Take radical responsibility. This is the NFA attitude, and decide and commit to being a money master so your money doesn't master you. So that's where I started with Robinhood, and I started to grow that portfolio. This all led me to cryptocurrencies. And now I've paid a good amount of money to have somebody who's an expert, who's called and predicted all of the trajectories and trends for Bitcoin and different cryptocurrencies, and I just keep investing. And every time I get some money, I invest and I pay attention. I do some day trading, I do some week trading, I do some month trading, and then I have some long-term investments in crypto because I believe, and I see in my account right now, I'm up 115%, and it just keeps growing, and I keep putting money in, and I keep watching it and paying attention to it, because what you appreciate appreciates. So I don't know if I'm answering my fan's question who said, talk about blockchain or talk about Bitcoin, but I wanted to share with you that these are strategies I use to build my wealth. And I have, I minimize my risk by being very smart with my investments and spreading them out and diversifying, but I pay attention, and I'm paying attention every day to my money because I love my money. I want my money to love me. I want to attract more of it. I want financial freedom. I'm dedicated to financial freedom. And so I'm just sharing with you some of my strategies to do that. So Coinbase is where I started, and all these links, and straightforward, these are affiliate or referral type of links. If you sign up through the links in the show notes or in the details, you will get free Bitcoin, free crypto, free money, free stocks using these links. So check them out. Obviously, there's no obligation. I just want to offer this to you because this is what I'm doing to build my wealth, and I focus on money a lot, and I want you to be wealthy along with me and up-level your money flow. So Coinbase, if you use this link, you'll get $10 of free Bitcoin if you purchase $100 of, I think it's of any cryptocurrency on Coinbase, you get $10 of free Bitcoin, which could turn into a lot of money. So check that out. Coinbase is a very easy exchange where there's about 40 cryptocurrencies right now that you can invest in. Do some research, pay attention, and start playing around. Start with $100, see what happens. I mean, I've had many cryptocurrencies where my money tripled. Actually, right now I keep investing at different levels. So I think my highest is around 200% gain in the last couple months. So there's that. Obviously, my first investment, it was only $25, but my first investment in Bitcoin has had a 7.5 times gain. So if you're putting more money in, then you're going to have a bigger gain. $25 doesn't turn into that much, but hey, got me going in the direction. Now, BlockFi, this is a really cool program that is growing rapidly. A lot of money is going into it. It's called BlockFi, and it's a high interest, both savings account, and you receive passive income on your crypto. So you transfer your Bitcoin, let's say, from Coinbase into BlockFi, and then it yields you, the rates are fluctuating. So right now I think it's around 6%. So 6% on your Bitcoin is what you make. On your US dollars, you make 8.6%. Now, most savings accounts are under 1%, and the high interest accounts, like I have Goldman Sachs. So I have a Goldman Sachs account that yields 0.5%, and that's good for a savings account. BlockFi, 8.6%. So check it out. There's a free link there, and if you enroll in that, you get free crypto. Really cool account. I've been loving that and making a whole bunch of good passive income there. And then another cool thing is, I don't know if you've heard of Ground Floor, but it's a real estate investment co-op, basically. So what you're doing is you're putting your money into a co-op of investors, and you have a share of loans on properties. So you become a real estate investor passively, and you create a passive stream of income. Those returns they return about a 10.5% yield, which is great. You don't have to be a landlord. You don't got to deal with getting the loan. You just invest, and you can start with as little as $10. So I don't care what age you are or how much money you have, you could come up with $10. So put $10. If you click on this link and you invest $10, you get $20 credit. So you could invest $30 right away, and you can see how it works and play around with it and start becoming a real estate investor passively. And then you start to build your passive income streams. So I think it was Einstein who says the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. So you want to be experiencing compound interest. That's the other cool thing about BlockFi, is that you reinvest your interest every month, and then it comes back to you in whatever currency it is you're buying. So if it's US dollar, it goes back in US dollar, and then you get compound interest on that money. So you keep growing and growing and growing and growing your money, and you keep watching this acceleration. And what this does is sends to the universe the sign that you are serious about money making, that you have an investor mindset, that you have a passive stream of income mindset, and that you're creating multiple streams of wealth building so that you can diversify and feel abundant and feel alive in the way that you see your wealth growing over time. So I know this is a little longer episode than I usually do, but I could talk about this clearly all day long. I could do multiple workshops. I want to remind you, I don't even know what the right terms are. I'm not like a financial advisor. Do not hold me accountable for your investments. You got to do your own research. You've got to take risks and know, especially with crypto, don't put in any money that you're not willing to lose, because it's a very volatile market. So do your research. My whole point is become a money master and learn everything that you can. And I've just given you some tools and tips and accounts and links so that you can start checking out ways that I've built my wealth. If you're into it and you want to learn more, awesome, go for it. I just want to share with you what I've done and what's worked for me, where I've had really incredible returns in my crypto accounts, my BlockFi account, my Robinhood account, my Ground Floor, all of it. I have had a no loss investment process or journey. That's not always the case. Of course, I've had some small losses, but overall I've had massive gains because I'm very conscious and I pay a lot of attention to what I'm doing. And I only take risks when I know that it's okay if I lose that money. And I do a lot of research, and I look to the people who are ahead of me in the game. You know, it's like when I'm learning about crypto, I will learn from the people who have a mindset of like, I want to be in on an investment that I have done research on, and I know where it's going to the best of my capabilities, and I pay attention and I watch and I listen, and I don't just put the money in and hope for the best. I watch my money every single day. So I hope this helps. I would so love to hear from you in the comments. it is my favorite thing to answer your questions and help you succeed in the money world and feel that freedom. So leave comments, email me, join my community. If you watch the NFA Money Masterclass that I talk about at the end of this intro, you can, you'll watch that and that'll opt you into my weekly newsletter where you have more direct communication with me. So do that. I'm so glad you're here. I love helping you make more money, and it has been a fun game for me. So I just am enjoying the journey of, you know, the mountains building of money and the freedom that I get to experience. I just got back from a snowboarding trip. If you noticed, I wasn't here last week. I took the week off. I went on a snowboarding trip with my honey, and holy moly, I had a good time. I hadn't gone snowboarding in 20 years, and I was kind of afraid, like, ooh, am I gonna like snowboarding anymore? Am I gonna be scared? And I blasted down the mountain and I had a grand old time. So I definitely am getting a pass next year, and we had so much fun, and it was really nice to unplug. I didn't check my email all week, and I'm back now, and I'll be here again next week to bring you tips and tools. I'm sending you so much love and NFA money making high fives. I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to or watching this episode and for being a part of the NFA family. You are why I do what I do. If you're liking what you're learning here on Max Potential Money, you will definitely want to go to www.nfamasterclass.com to learn about the #1 deadly money mistake all entrepreneurs make. Again, that's www.nfamasterclass.com. Until next time, remember to be NFA today.